I've had this Pathfinder for, I guess it's 2006, and since then it's transformed from stock into a really capable off-road rig. You know, the first modifications I did were pretty basic. Basically turning up the torsion bars, putting bigger tires under it, and on, and you know how it goes. Eventually I've got a solid axle swap, long armed rear, lockers all around, manual, automatic to manual swap, and I've just really poured a lot of work into the truck. I'm really pleased with it. I've been impressed with the Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan in general, but especially this model of Pathfinder. The frame is nice and strong. The motor is just bulletproof. Got 160,000 miles and it's just breaking in. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Runs really well. I just tuned up the motor, replaced the couple injectors that were bad, replaced the spark plugs. It's running really well. I'm really pleased with how well it runs. Here we are behind the driver's seat. I wanted to show you the CB radio with weather channel. The stereo, it's got a CD player, good FM AM radio. I've got new speakers in the doors. Well, they were new, I guess, 3 years ago on either side. The CB also works. I'm pretty far away from a highway right now, so I'm not really going to expect to pick anything up. Channel 19. Weather channels, 9. There's 9 of them. That's handy to have when you're out camping and stuff. You can, I'll turn on the air conditioning. It's, you know, 45, 50 degrees right now, so it's not actually going to be any colder than the outside air, but I'll turn it on anyways, and you can watch the tachometer to see the engine dip while the compressor kicks on. So the compressor kicks on, it ran fine. I actually replaced most of the air conditioning system trying to diagnose a problem a few years back, and it's worked fine ever since. The heater works as well. The engine's hot now. So we have hot air in the interior. The power windows also work on the passenger side. And rear window. All of them work. The power door locks also work. Including the rear door in the cargo area. This is just a cheap stereo, but it's fairly nice to be able to. It's got enough power that you can have the windows down, go down the road at 60, 70 miles an hour and still hear the music, which is nice. Let's see A little bit of detail of the interior here. Notice the odometer reading. Missing an AC vent on that side. Those vents are really annoying. They constantly break. They're available from the dealership though. The view of the passenger side. The passenger side interior looks good as well. Got the original seat in it. It's the passenger side rear seat, also in very good shape. It's the cargo area. Here's a view of the driver's side front suspension. I have a Dana 44 front axle. It's got 513 gearing, a mechanical locker. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the locker, but it's the replacement to the Lock-Right series. Maybe Power Tracks or something like that. It's got heavy-duty tie rod and drag link. You can see the bump stops to stop the axle from contacting the frame, actually to stop the drag link from contacting the frame, because that's what hits first. And it's got Chevy outers, so I got the 6 lug pattern front and rear. The axle was rebuilt a couple years ago when I put it in. It was rebuilt completely, all new seals and whatnot. The suspension is a radius arm suspension from a Ford Bronco. You can have a look at that. The radius arms are connected with polyurethane bushings. See the stainless braided brake line. Brakes are all new. Here's the passenger side suspension view. You can see those shocks are in really bad shape. They need to be replaced, but they work. They're just really ugly. You can hear the engine still just purring away. Here's the passenger side rear. I have it long-armed. It has the H233B with 513 gears and a Lock-Right lock. You can see that I've got the lowers are quite a bit longer. They used to be right here, and I took the lowers and mounted them on in place of the uppers on a new cross member. Those are Rancho shocks, I believe they're 5013s. They're in good shape. See the stainless braided brake line. The rust that I mentioned earlier, you can actually see from this angle. It's right there in that body seam, and you can see the rest of the floor is clear of rust. It's just that one spot. I'm not sure why they made that seam like that, because it catches water off of the tires. The transmission is a manual, a 5-speed. The truck originally came with an automatic. I did the swap a couple years ago. The manual transmission and the transfer case both came out as a unit out of a truck with low miles that hadn't really been abused very much. So I was pleased with that. The manual transmission's great, it shifts fine.